Utah. And we had a nice house. And we had a Christmas tree. And I remember Christmas Eves a little bit. I remember it was hard to go to sleep, even though they said go to sleep so Santa Claus could come. So I'd go there and I'd toss and turn. And then I would see shadows down the hall, and I said, I wonder if that's Santa Claus. Now, it might have been Grandpa, or it might have been my dad, or somebody else. But you have all sorts of visions, and Santa Claus did come. And then when I'd get up in the morning, I remember one, here it was, and I wanted it. An electric train all spread out around the Christmas tree. And I can't remember if they had it going or I had to start it, but and you can imagine when you're a young boy, that was great. And that electric train lasted me a long time. I even got one down in my basement now. And I never use it anymore. I guess I ought to take more kids down there that like it. But, and then I remember my mother. Believe it or not, I had a mother. Grandma to Dana. But she, of course, like most mothers, she would make candy, chocolate, hot chocolate, and everything, and have little fudge pieces, you know. I remember that Christmas, and then I remember, sometimes I'd get a sleigh for Christmas, and then Christmas Day, we'd have to go, there's a hill not far from there called the Petit Meat Hill. And then you could go down the hill with the sleigh, and that was fun, and all the family would go, and the only thing, you'd have to go back up the hill, take your sled way up the hill, and then go down. What was fun, and they don't do this as much, when the roads were covered with snow, we would tie a rope to the car and it'd pull us on our sleigh around the road.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Do you remember?
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
I remember riding in the back of pickup trucks.
Yeah, and pickup trucks came in, but that, I remember Grandpa Clayson had a pickup truck that we used to ride in. And then there was my friends that if we didn't stay a long time Christmas Eve, would come over and I'd go over to their place, you know. I had a friend that lived about a block and a half away, and he'd come to my place and I'd go to his place. And we'd visit and do all sorts of things. He's still close now, he's still alive. He lives in Payson with his wife, and he's got big families like I do. And ask me a question about Christmas Eve. And I don't know if I'll know the answer, because I've got a good memory, but it's awful short.
So I was telling the kids that Grandma Fullmer started me on the village, but she used to have it on her piano, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that brings back memories when I see that, because I haven't seen a village for a long time. But there's other people in here, I understand, are trying to get a village going.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this isn't quite so far away, but tell us the story about Mike and the lifesaver that rolled under the tree, and how it started something. The tree, the Christmas tree.
Oh, you mean on fire?
Uh-huh.
Was it Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened so fast we almost panicked. We got a Christmas tree that had probably been there for months and months, you know, and it was very dry. And we decorated with the lights, and there was a short in the light. And I'm not sure how it started other than that. Except it
So
was
Mike, he crawled under the tree to find something that had rolled under there. And he hit it and started the
and
tree.
boom, it was almost like an explosion. You know, have you ever put a lot of dry timber together and you touch a match to it, and even building a fire with the little dry stuff? Well, imagine the whole tree like that. It just exploded, and it was in the curtains and everything. And so we called the fire department, and the fire department came, and that smoke, even though the house was still good shape, that smoke going through the house and everything, it had to be, and some parts had to be gone over, new curtains, And where the fire was and everything, we prevented it from burning the house down. But that happened one Christmas Eve, a long time ago. And guess what happened after that? I never bought a dry Christmas tree again. In fact, I got the kind you spray and
Yeah.
what do you call them?
The flocking.
Flocking trees, and now I buy an artificial tree, and it's pretty fireproof. So if the shark goes off, it's not going to explode. It might go like that, but I'll hurry and throw a blanket on it.
Now they have LED lights.
Yes.
Grandpa,
Matt has a question.
Grandpa,
What?
do you have a favorite Christmas tradition?
Being with my family's one. Let's see if there's another Christmas tradition. Well, this is one of the traditions. And of course, the coronavirus sneaks around and tries to block a lot of traditions. But being with my family is what I remember right now. I like Christmas carols and everything, but that's just part of the Christmas spirit. It's beginning to be a lot like Christmas on Christmas Eve morning. For the last 5 years, I've gone out with the Thomases and had breakfast. That's gone on for 5 years. Remember when, I don't know, Dynamite, Jessie and her husband lived in my house for about 3 or 4 months, and it was at Christmas time. And so we went down to Denny's on Christmas Eve, that was 5 years ago. And now every year, it's a tradition, the Thomases meet at Denny's. And I go there, and sometimes with somebody else. So that's turned into a tradition now, 5-year tradition. So good. Things happen like that.
So,
All right. Well, thank you, Dad.
And